G'day folks. Well, I figured it's time to finish off this copier. At least that way I can start, well, loading some of it into the rubbish bin for pickup tomorrow. Very little of this is going to be scrapyard worthy. Very, very little. Unfortunately, most of the old photocopiers, the outer casing was plastic and that'd just go in the rubbish bin. The rest of it was all steel and a bit of computer board and stuff, so that could get mixed in with the scrap metal, but this is just rubbish. There's nothing really decent in it at all. So, might as well finish it off. Now that's part of image transfer. The paper comes up over here, over the transfer roller, which should also have an electrical charge applied to it through there. So that's like a negative charge which pulls the toner to the paper off the drum. It's a little bit different to the old style photocopiers, but it still works in the same essential way, and there's really nothing inside it either apart from some rollers. But yeah, that's the transfer roller. Transfers toner to paper. And there's nothing in there. Likewise, there's nothing on this door. Remove it with the utmost care. Manual bypass feed. Really not much to it. It's all fantastic plastic. Nowhere near as good as the old-fashioned copiers. Also got the little modified D-sub connector. Notice one pin's blanked out, so you can't accidentally connect a computer monitor onto it if you were somewhat inclined or just stupid, which people are. It's got an optical sensor for the top cover down switch instead of a micro switch. There's only two micro switches on there, and it's in here and behind the back door. It would be interesting to rip the pin off a D-sub connector on an LCD monitor and just plug it in, watch it have a shit fit while it gets 24 volts up the control cable. But unfortunately the copier's a bit too far gone to do that, so maybe next time. It would be funny. You'll see a monitor get 5 and 24 volts up through its signal cable. But then again, we can do that on the bench anyway. We don't need a photocopier to do it. That's an idea. Get a crappy old Pentium 3 computer or something and just stuff a couple of probes into the ATX connector. One negative 48 volts, one positive 48 volts to the 12 volt side, and see what happens. I bet you a lot of smoke will come out. That's a locking mechanism for the toner unit. A 24 volt fan to get excess heat out of the fusing unit. Oops. It's only 24 volts, it's not that important anyway. What's that all about? This Xenon diode assembly, 330 volt Xenon diode assembly. Might be over voltage for the fusing unit. Yeah. That side goes to ground, and that side's connected to back of the fusing unit. It's like a safety thing. Interesting. I'll keep you. Well, there's the gearbox. I wonder what was making all that racket. Those plastic gears are still intact. Something was chomping and carrying on every time it ran. It's a bit hard to tell though. Might have been one of them maybe. something was locking up and just jumping teeth. All the teeth on that seem to be intact. Not that there's much use for this sort of stuff, apart from the stepping motors. I think some people have robotics projects and things that they use them on, but I don't really have time for those sorts of projects anymore. Nice solenoid. You make a solenoid motor with it. Pulse the solenoid to pull on a crankshaft and spin a flywheel. Look that up on the internet, on YouTube. Solenoid motor. A solenoid flywheel engine, or whatever people like to call them. It's not really an engine technically, but they're not bad. I've seen people do it with hard drives as the flywheel, or hard drive disc platter as the flywheel. That is the fusing unit. It's a Teflon coated or silicon coated roller. That's Teflon coated. That has a high wattage halogen lamp inside it, and that one's just like a silicon rubberized pinch roller essentially, but that's the one that has the lamp in it, the heater, which I should be able to remove. Likewise, there's a thermal switch in case of overheat. Or actually, that'd probably just cycle it normally. There'll be a thermal fuse in case of overheat. No, that cycles. That's a thermistor, which goes back there. That's in case of overheat, runaway. That will cut circuit and make sure nothing burns up. Some of them even have a thermal fuse. There is probably one in there somewhere as well, but it doesn't look like it. That's its range. 150E. No, it's too low. It's supposed to get up a lot higher than that. Doesn't say what its range is. PW2N 4045 250E. There's nothing else printed on it. It doesn't say what its trip range is. Usually they do. That's loose. It should break apart. Oh, there's more screws. Now it should break apart. There we go. That's the pinch roller. I wonder if it was the fuser roller that was stripping a gear. But then again, it wouldn't have fed out though. It was feeding out, it's just paper was hitting the it was hitting the guides because they're all broken off. Oops. There it is. That's the heat source for the fuser. Tiny little halogen lamp. 230 volt, 600 watts. So it's like a normal halogen flood lamp, which has a tube about that long, but this one's just stretched out a lot thinner. And it's all to do with heat, not light. So there you go, 240 volt, 230 volt halogen. And that's still usable too. So you go in the keep pile. The rest of this, well, PBT plastic housing I could still use because it's got the brass connectors on it, but the rest of this is virtually useless. A lot of the times these gears get baked in laser printers and they shed teeth or they break in half and you end up having to find a replacement. Overall it's not too bad, it's not scratched, it's just well used. That's Teflon, it's PTFE coating. Non-stick Like non-stick fry pan, same stuff. It's an aluminum tube too, so it's well worth hanging on to for the engineering shop. The gears and things are pretty much useless. That's pretty much useless. It's just a silicon type rubber pinch roller essentially. Steel guide rods. The steel rod's handy if you can be bothered stripping all the rubber off it, but it's a bit of a job. How are we going from memory? Yeah, not too bad. I've got to watch this camera. The amount of times I've run out of memory on a tripod shoot and just been rambling on for about 5 minutes pointlessly because it's not filming. It's one of the reasons I don't like doing them. But in this case, we're not too bad. It's screwed, but something's still holding it in. There we go. I got it out. There's not really much on it. There's a optical sensor there, probably to detect laser or something like that. There's really not much else on that. It's another little optical sensor or switch, whatever you want to call it. Pretty sure they use infrared. It just makes or breaks an infrared beam, like a doorbell barrier you see in shops. You walk between the two beams, or break the beam from the reflector, and it signals the chime. It's pretty much how those things work. There's the only micro switches I could find. Everything else is optical. But yeah, that's just rubbish. There's really nothing of value on that. The rest of that's paper pickup. There's part of the paper pickup assembly. That LED is probably for the to tell it when it's transferring paper. There's really not much else on here. Pointlessly small speaker. Solenoid to control the paper pickup rollers, little half moon rollers. And that bit there I can't really get out. Something's still holding it in. No, I've got all the screws out, it just doesn't want to come out. No, it's not coming out. Oh, there it goes. So you just got to throw it on the floor in the right way and then it'll come out. Oh, look at that. It's got little diversion slots in it. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, that's your main traction drive for the paper pickup. And it's interesting, it's got different... one of those will be for manual bypass, the other one will be for paper tray. That's the bottom of it. So that'll be pick up from paper tray, and that's probably your manual bypass, and it all feeds up to the imaging unit and the fuser, which is up that way. So yeah, there's manual bypass input and little traction wheels, and that's main paper cassette feed going in there. So that's what this is. This is the main paper feed. Pretty easy. There's really nothing to it. It's just a plastic moulding with the main gear shaft, all the integrated bearings. There's no bronze bushes used anymore. Well, it's got a little plastic bearing in it, so they did half think it through. But the thing is, these things never wear out, so they're not really any point in having them as a replaceable part. The rest of the machine wears out before the little plastic bushings do. Anyway, I think that's about all for that one. Now I've got a horrible mess on the floor, and I guess I better sort out what I want to keep. Might even see a part 4 as I tinker around with some of it. Not there's much I could really use. Anywho, thanks for watching.